Available in either the shorter Epic or elongated Invikta shapes, Selkirk pushes the envelope of precision, comfort, spin, and feel with the new Selkirk Vanguard Pro series of paddles. At the heart of the project is a 16mm X5 Plus polypropylene core, which along with the thermoformed edges and high-density foam injection around the core's perimeter produces a substantial sweet spot, great feel, and point-and-shoot predictability. Encasing the core materials and delivering shot sculpting levels of spin are 4 plies of premium 12K raw carbon fiber per side of the Vanguard Pro, and adding to the versatility of this elite quality paddle, both the Invikta and Epic Vanguard Pro weigh between 7.8 and 8.2 ounces and feature an octagonal grip shape of a 4.25-inch diameter. I've got about 15 to 20 hours on these paddles collectively. I know yesterday we had a great time playing with them. I gotta say, it seemed like the ball was coming through the air and coming through the court with about the same pace. But if I'm not mistaken, it looked like you were putting a little more effort into your shots to attain that. Is that correct?
Well, first off, let's talk about, you have a fantastic choice in shirt here.
Mutually agreed.
Yeah. Second off, yes, I did have to swing harder with these paddles. I would say that is probably my one knock, my one downside with these paddles is that they are underpowered. To me, especially coming from, we've been playtesting something like the Yola mod and like the new gearboxes. Those have a lot of pop to them. These, when we always talk about pop, they don't feel like they have a ton of pop. When I'm swinging through the air and making contact with the ball, it just doesn't feel like it's going and launching off the paddle as hard and as fast as I would have liked. So that was my one knock there. And for you, I know you play probably with the most variety of players, from kind of more beginners to some pros. How did it fare against those type of players?
Well, I would say this is definitely a control-oriented device for sure. There wasn't a lot of power. I will say that the Invikta just giving you a little bit more leverage or length-based power. The Epic giving you far more maneuverability, even though there's only about a half-inch difference in their length. But overall, these paddles held up. They are gonna require a little bit more swing speed to get the job done, or that's how I felt. One thing I was feeling is the 4 plies of the 12K raw carbon fiber per side. That really firms up the surface. And my guess is because of the layering, it just kind of inhibits what the X5 Plus core can do for you, giving you just all kinds of control and precision, but not a lot of pop. So I felt like the story was comfort, spin, feel, control. The power was coming from you and me. That's kind of how I rated it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, I felt like this paddle did everything else really well to exceptional. Great feel, great touch. I did have to kind of acclimate to the touch. At the beginning, I felt like I was hitting short because of just the lack of power, but then once I got acclimated, I felt like I had great touch, great feel, good on my third shot drops, really good spin. I liked the texture I was getting and the spin I was getting off this new face. So yeah, I was very impressed with it so far.
Well, besides us agreeing on shirts, I know we're kind of picky on handle shape and feel. What are your thoughts on this octagonal handle shape?
Yeah, the handle is great. It is a full pallet handle, which I always appreciate. I've always been impressed with Selkirk paddles with just their build quality in general, and I like the build quality here and the handle shape.
I'll talk about something that generally doesn't get talked about very much, and I'd say for good reason, because if you're talking about it, there must be something wrong with it, and that is Selkirk's Edge Sentry Edge Guard. I've never really had any of these paddles kind of come delaminated around the rim, so I will give 2 thumbs up at least to just the quality and, like you were saying, the build, but everything around the rim. These are very abrasion resistant, very impact resistant paddles for sure. And my thoughts on it, I don't know, who do you think this paddle is kind of ideal for?
Weight-wise, I think it'll fit a wide variety of players. It's right around 8 ounces where I like it to be. It still feels pretty maneuverable. I like when we had our firefights up kind of at the kitchen, that it felt pretty maneuverable to me. I was able to get a paddle on the harder hit shots. So yeah, I think it fits a wide variety of players. Players that like to rip from the baseline, you're gonna get tons of control. You're gonna get tons of spin on your forehand shots, and it's low powered enough that you can, yeah, just swing away.
Yeah, my initial thoughts was this is gonna be an ideal paddle for maybe like an intermediate to advanced level player. And then the more I played with it, I just found that it's so easy to keep the ball inside the lines. The other side of the coin is it might be a little harder or a little more of a challenge to get shot depth, but I would say this is an ideal paddle for just about any kind of skill level or any style of play. I would say it shines brightly in towards the net when we're getting in our dink fights and trying to speed up volleys. Definitely ideal, just gonna require a little bit more swing speed to get shot depth from the back of the court.
Yeah, and then there are 2 shapes here. There is a more elongated and then there's more standard shape. I prefer the Invikta shape with a little bit more elongated there. It gives me just a bit more power where this paddle felt a little bit underpowered, so I needed that just extra pop there. I did like that standard shape because it did feel more maneuverable. Which shape did you prefer?
Oh, we're on the same page for more than just shirt color today. I definitely prefer the Invikta by far as well. It's just giving me that extra reach that I need. I'm not getting any younger or any faster, and it also just gives me what I feel like is more length-based power. So yeah, I'm with you on that one as well. And that's about all we have for you today. If you'd like to learn anything more detail-oriented about these new Vanguard Pros or anything else pickleball related, be sure to head over to pickleballwarehouse.com, or if you're in Australia, be sure to head over to totalpickleball.com.au.